Hello and welcome to today's episode of Modesty's Monday Motivation series. That's our MMM, and that's our tonic every Monday, and that's how we kick off the working week in a very positive note, on a very positive note, in a very positive manner, kind of fine-tuning our mindsets into how we want our mind to function for the rest of the week and beyond. And so the purpose of this program or this series every Monday is really to put our minds into the right shape and to educate us on financial stuff. At the very, very base of my purpose of doing this is financial education, because it's become obvious that the reason people make some disastrous financial decisions is simply because they lack the basic foundation and the basic foundational financial education. So that was what inspired me and motivated me to start this series, just to help improving the level of financial education out there for people who want to make conscious and informed financial decisions. But then it now emerged that we are beginning to treat things that are even beyond the financial education, and we are touching lives generally, just helping people live a better life. But at the very base of it all is financial education. So in the light of this, we have been talking about goal setting. Because of the time of the year it is, we have focused a lot on goal setting, and for the last 2 weeks I've been talking about goal setting. 2 weeks ago it was more of a theoretical framework of goal setting, and then last week we started some kind of practical stuff on goal setting to help us know exactly how to set our goals, how to go about it, and how to measure those goals and know when we're on track and when we're off track. So today is episode 17 of our Modesty's Monday Motivation series, and we are going to continue with our 7 steps to goal settings. We started it last week, and last week we did 2 practical sessions on goal setting. And I just want to recap on what we did last week for those of us who were not here last week, who weren't with us. Last week we started with step 1. Our step 1 was to fill our goal fuel tank. And we said the fuel that we're going to fill it with is confidence. And where do we draw the confidence from? We started looking backwards at the previous achievements that we have made in life and how we achieved those things. And it became clear to us that we are not the failure that we think we are. We are not as incapable or as incapacitated as we think we are, because previously we have achieved stuff. Some of us have graduated from university, some have graduated from high school, from secondary school. Some of us got married, they've got children, they've got family. Some have got jobs, some have set up businesses, various achievements that we have attained in the past. It just gets, because sometimes we just forget about these things and we think they don't count. But when you look back and you see what you've achieved in the past, it gives you hope, and it gives you the belief and the confidence that you are capable of repeating that. It might be that the things that you were doing in the past that worked for you, you stopped doing them. And therefore, if you look back and see what you've achieved and how you got there, it becomes clear to you that you are capable of doing more and achieving more. You just need to kick on. Okay, so we started with step 1, and we asked everyone to list down 30 achievements that they have made in the past and think of how they achieved it and why they achieved it and why they considered those achievements important and of significance to them. And then that's what the exercise we did in that one. The exercise there was to ask ourselves 3 questions. That was step 2. In step 2, we talked about true goals discovery process. And the true goals discovery process, we tried to answer 3 questions. Those three questions bordered on experience, on growth, and on contribution. On experience, we said, ask yourself, what would you like to experience in your life? And on growth, we asked, how would you like to grow, both as a person or as an organization if you've got one? Contribution, how would you like to contribute to planet Earth or to this world during your lifetime? We explored some of those areas, and we encourage people to write down the answers to this question. I even put down mine, and I even announced it here on air last week. And then we did another exercise in that step 2. That second exercise was to explore our roles in life. And we asked you to write down your different roles in life. Consider your different roles as a brother, or as a husband, or as a sister, or as a wife, or as a mother, or as an employee, or as an employer. Different roles that you play in life. Write them down. And then write down, why are those roles important to you, and how would you like to progress on those roles. Now, what we were doing was just to set the tone, or to just set the foundation and the base to build upon the goal setting. We have not even started the goal setting process yet. We're just trying to give you some kind of framework for you to know. When we build that framework, we can now build on that, and then we crack on from there. And then we had the third exercise in the series last week, and that was in exploring our different areas of life. And we said, list the most important areas of your life and rate yourself 1 to 10 on the scale of how you're doing. So some of the important areas we mentioned, like your health, your finance, your career, your family, your mission, your spiritual life, certain different things that matter to you. And we said, what matters to you may not matter to the other person. So if you know what's important to you, write it down. And when you write it down, begin to rate yourself on the scale of 1 to 10, how you think you have performed in those areas, and how you can get better in the areas you think you have not performed well. So that's a recap of what we did last week. Now this week, we want to continue from step number 3. Step number 3 is what we call the What I Want Manifesto. Remember, we're working on 7 steps to goal setting. So we've done steps 1 and 2 last week. Step number 3 today is the What I Want Manifesto. So today you're going to draw a manifesto. You're going to draw a manifesto for yourself. Just like political parties do draw their manifestos, and their manifestos guide them in their policy making, in their decision making, and in their governance. So today you're going to draw a personal manifesto. And that manifesto is going to be based on what you want. So we are terming it What I Want Manifesto. Now we are going to derive the raw materials to write this manifesto from the different angles you have explored your life in the past, like we did last week. Those different angles that we looked at, your roles in life, what you want to achieve in life, where the experiences you want to have, the kind of growth you want to have, and the kind of contribution you want to make to planet Earth. Those things that we wrote down last week, those are the raw materials that we need to perform this particular task today. And like I encouraged us earlier in my video in the morning, I said, when you're coming to this series, to this episode today, please bring paper and pen, because it's more of a practical session than just a theoretical thing. And you get more inspired and you get more out of it when you are involved in the practical aspect of it. Okay? So basically, we'll start with asking yourself the very important question. What do I want? What do I want? As simple as this question is, it is really very difficult to answer for some people, because some people just exist, they have no idea what they want. And it might be, as a result of different things, different reasons. It could be from the background, it could be from the kind of people they are associating with, it could be from the kind of environment they're exposed to. There are lots of reasons that could make people's vision very blurred. Now, it's time to now sit down and ask yourself the question really. And it's a good time to ask yourself this question at the very early stages of this year. What do I want? Okay. Now, like I said, we have the raw materials from the previous exercises we did last week. You see, when you are clear on what you want, how to get there becomes a lot easier and a lot clearer. But what makes it difficult for some people is because they keep switching lanes. And when you keep switching lanes in life, it becomes difficult to have a clear focus of what direction you're heading to. There is nothing wrong in trying something else if one thing fails. But there is something wrong in losing focus very early. Focus basically is an acronym. We have coined an acronym for focus like follow one course until successful. Yeah, so there is a possibility that you follow that course and you may not be successful in it, or you may not be getting out of it the kind of success that you want. And then it becomes very imperative that you switch lanes. I have switched lanes a couple of times in life, especially as it pertains to business. When I have set up businesses and they are not giving me what I want, but before I quit that business, I give it everything I have, and then it becomes absolutely clear to me that that business is not giving back to me as much as I'm giving to it. I close it down and I focus on other businesses and other areas and other careers that are giving me what I want. I have been involved in investments and business investments with people or with groups of people where I haven't got what I was looking for, and it became clear to me from the early stage that maybe I'm in the wrong company, or I'm in the wrong, I'm doing this with the wrong set of people, and I need to extract myself out of that, business or investment, save myself the time and the money and the stress and the energy, and channel it to something that is. So the main thing is that there is a focus, and that focus, it means that if I get involved in this, I will not go far in it. So I would rather channel that energy to where my focus and my purpose is clearer. But there are people who just switch lanes every now and then. When you drive on the road and you see people who switch lanes anyhow at every slightest opportunity, there is something that happens to me when I drive sometimes. I don't know what happens to other people when they drive. Sometimes you're following a particular lane on the motorway, and then it looks like the other lane is moving quicker. And then you say, okay, yeah, I'm going to switch lane. And then you switch lane and you join that lane that you thought was moving quicker than the lane you were in. And then you realize that that lane was only temporarily moving quicker than the lane you were in. And then you look at the cars that were behind you in the same lane that you just left, and they start overtaking you in that particular fast lane you moved into. And then you see those cars that were behind you, and all of a sudden they are ahead of you. I mean, when I see it happen, it just mirrors the things that happens in life generally. Sometimes we switch lanes thinking that that is the best option, and that is where it is happening. Then you switch lane and you remain there, and the people who were patient enough to remain on the particular lane you were in now come and they overtake you, and you are stuck in that lane you are in. Switching back into that lane might be difficult because the other vehicles might not even want you to come back into the lane. They might not even give you the space, or by the time you find a vehicle who will give you a space to switch back in, others have overtaken you. Such is life. So it's just a very practical analogy of what it is like not having focus and not being patient enough to follow one course until successful. So this in this step we're going to do something practical again. Yeah, I'm going to just advise and give you a few instructions on what we need to do here. First of all, what we need you to know is that do not focus on what will change, but focus on what is unlikely to change in the next 25 years. In this exercise we're going to do not focus on what is going to change, but focus on what is unlikely to change in the next 25 years in your life or around you. It might be a little bit difficult because you might be thinking, wow, the world we live in changes every day. Yes, technology changes things even per second or per minute. But there are certain things that are unlikely to change even in the next 25 or 30 years around you. For example, if your short-term goal today is to remain healthy and fit and energetic and in shape, it is unlikely that that goal or that ambition will change in the next 30 years. Because even in the next 25 years, you will still want to be healthy, you will still want to be energetic, you will still want to be in shape, you will still want to look good. So no matter how much technology changes, that vision remains the same. So this is more like a vision work. We're not talking about specific goals yet. We're going to come to specific goals. But this exercise is just to help us now build, a vision. So, like I said, we've already got the raw materials we need to do this exercise from the previous exercise that we did last week. Now, let's build your vision. Okay? Remember that what we're doing here is what I want manifesto. You are building your own personal manifesto. Manifesto is a vision. You are picturing a world where you want to live in. When political parties draw their manifesto, they are picturing a country, they are picturing a society, they are picturing an environment that they will govern, and this is what the environment will look like. I did mention something, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, about Vision 2020 for Nigeria. I think it was at the beginning of the millennium, year 2000, that Nigeria brought out what they call Vision 2020. That in 20 years' time, this is the kind of Nigeria they would like everyone to live in. And it was such a glorious, lovely, attractive vision. And everybody was looking forward to it. 20 years down the line, we are in 2020, and it looks like Nigeria in 2020 is worse than the Nigeria of year 2000. Simply because the vision was there, but the action was lacking. But we'll come to that. So now, let's build your vision. First of all, we said you have to ask yourself the question, what do I want? In building this, your what I want manifesto, the first question you're gonna ask is, what do I want? Now, your vision is a dream of where you want to be and what you want in every area of your life in 25 years' time. And I said, picture yourself 25 years down the line from now. In those areas that we mentioned last week, that you wrote down the important areas of your life, like your health, your finance, your family, your career, your business, your mission, and those areas that are important to you, friends and your relationship, your fun and your recreation, even holidays, vacation. There are certain areas there are certain things that are important to you in life. Now picture those areas 25 years from now. No matter how technology changes, do you think what your vision is in those areas are going to change? I've given an example with your health. If your short-term goal today is to be healthy, it's highly unlikely that in 30 years' time you would want to be unhealthy. If your short-term goal today is to have a happy family, it is highly unlikely that in 30 years' time you would want to have an unhappy family. If your short-term goal today is to have a successful business, it is highly unlikely that 30 years down the line you would want to have an unsuccessful business. If your short-term goal today is to have a successful career at whatever you are doing, it is highly unlikely that in long term you would want something different. That's basically what I'm talking about. When I say, do not focus on the things that will change. Focus on the things that are unlikely to change in 25 years' time, and let us build that vision. Okay, so in this particular exercise, there is actually a template that I would, if you want me to email you that template, which you can use, in your own private time to also explore more on this area, because we have a limited time here. We're going to do some of those exercises here and now, but after this session, if you want me to email you a template that you will use to scribble things and write things to make it more practical for you, please drop your email. If you want to drop it in the comment section for me, or if you want to send it to me via Messenger, send me your email address and I'll email you the template that you can use to do some practical stuff on what we have done here. Really, really useful. I make use of those templates myself. But we're going to do some of those practical stuff here, and I hope you've got your pen and your paper. And like I said, I am part of the program. So I am doing it as well as you are doing it. So whatever we're doing here, we're doing it together. I'm not presenting to you any finished work. I'm just going to present to you a sketch. And then whatever you are writing down, I am equally writing down. I'm equally doing mine. Because it works better that way when we all know we're in this together and we're doing this together. Because it's giving all of us the clarity that we need as to where we're heading to. So the instructions on this exercise that we need to do is, first of all, we need piece of paper. You need piece of paper and you need a pen. That's the first instruction. So if I get this piece of paper and this pen, and I want us to do something here. Now, think of each life priority by focusing on what will remain important to you in the next 25 years. Think of each life priority by focusing on what will remain important to you in the next 25 years. We are talking about your What Do I Want manifesto. So, in the important areas that we mentioned last week, we said health. I'm writing mine down. Come on, the exercise has started. Get your pen and paper. Write down those important areas that we mentioned last week. I'm writing down health. I'm writing down family. I've written down finance. Spiritual growth is important to me as well. I've written down spiritual. I've written down vacation and fun. Yeah? Is it important to you? If it's not important to you, you don't have to write that down. Yeah? I've written down relationship. My relationship, it includes my friends and my relationship even with my family. Those things are important to me. Yeah? And then how about your career? Is it important to you enough? Or your business? Is it important to you enough? So those important areas, are they going to remain really important to you in the next 25 years? What you want in those areas, are they really going to change in the next 25 years? Like we gave an example. For me personally, in my health, short-term health goals, I would want to remain healthy. I would want to remain energetic. I would want to remain in shape. I wouldn't want to be obese. I wouldn't want to be overweight. I would want to remain healthy, energetic, and I would want to remain in shape. Now, do you think these goals are likely going to change for me in the next 25 years? No. Yeah? In the next 25 years, I still want to be healthy. I still want to be energetic. I still want to be in shape. And I shared my my fitness achievements with some of us here some time ago. When I set out to be running every morning, I didn't actually do that because I wanted to lose weight. I set out to be running because from my online mentors, I could see the relationship between fitness and business. They were being successful in business because they were fit. And when they do their early morning exercise, they come to work and their business and their brains function optimally. they can focus, and the energy takes them through the day. They don't feel weak, they don't feel tired, they feel energetic because they have exercised and they have done their fitness program early enough in the morning. So they encouraged me to do the same. And I started doing the same. And I started seeing the results in the way I walk, the way my brain functions, and how energetic I am throughout the day. And then along the line, I started losing some weight. I started getting in shape, and people started commenting to me and commending me for that. Say, hey guy, you're trimming, you're looking trimmer, you're losing weight. And I realized that it's as a result of the habit I have built over time by running every morning. Every morning I cover at least 4 kilometers when I jog and when I run. It became a habit. Every morning I do that. Monday to Friday. On Saturdays I play football. On Sundays it's more of a relaxing time for me. I relax, a little bit on Sundays, and then I start again on Monday. So I built that habit, and then because it's consistent, it's now yielding more than the result I wanted it to yield. I'm beginning to lose weight. I'm beginning to, get in shape. In fact, somebody was teasing my wife in church on Sunday and say, you see, the way people are commending this man that he's getting back in shape and he's losing weight and he's getting trimmer. You're gonna lose him if you don't take care, because he's gonna become so cute that everyone's gonna start rushing him. And she was like, hey, let the person come around. I'm ready for whoever wants to come and take him. You would have to shoot her before you get to me first of all. But then it's just yielding the results because I formed the habits. The routine was built, and then I was beginning to see more than the results I was actually expecting. Okay, so, and then you look at your family short-term goals. What are my family short-term goals? I would like to have a happy family. I would like to have my family close-knit. Yeah, a close-knit family. That's, on Friday we sat together as a family and we had a family movie night. In our house, we didn't go to the cinema. We just sat together. We bought stuff. We bought Pringles, we bought drinks, we bought snacks. Everybody just cozied up under the duvet and blanket, turned the lights off, created a cinematic environment, and we just watched a family movie. That is the kind of close-knit family that I want to build. I want a family that when somebody is down, the other person is really not happy, because until that person gets back on his feet. That's close-knit family. Is it likely that that is going to change in 25 years' time? That will still be what I want in 25 years' time. A family that is close-knit. My extended family, like my brothers and sisters and my family, during Christmas, we all came together and we all spent Christmas under one roof, in one big house. All the children and the grandchildren, the wives, the husbands and grandmas and everywhere. My family house was like, it was explosive. The experience was nothing like it. And that's the dream. In 25 years' time, if you ask my mom 25 years ago if that was the kind of family she wanted to see, she would say yes. And that vision came, to fruition 25 years later for her as well, if she had looked back at 25 years ago. So there are certain things in life that will not change with time. It is still what you want. So that's the vision we're asking you to build. In those important areas, your finance. Do you think in 25 years' time you would want to be poorer than you are? No, you would want to do well in your finance. You would want to be financially independent. You would want to see yourself taking enough holidays and vacation in 25 years' time as much as you want, if you can. Those are things that you call vision. It's a dream of the kind of life you want to live. So we are starting from the mega, and then we are going to narrow it down to the micro. So we're starting from the macro aspects of your dreams and your visions and all that. And then let us see the kind of world you want to build for yourself. Okay? So that's what we are trying to do. And then as we go on with this session, we can now start to narrow it down to the micro bits where it becomes more specific. So I hope you've written down those important areas of your life and what you would want those areas of your life to look like. Okay, so formulating that vision, and you want to have in mind what you want your life to look like in 3 decades. Now I'm going to show you something. Yeah. Now this is a diagram. This is a diagram this is like the template I'm going to send you your email. If you send me that email address, is something that looks like this. Yeah, to help you with this exercise. Now here I've written the areas of life. I've written health and fitness, relationships, family, fun and vacation, career and mission, personal finances, friends, personal growth. Are these areas that matters to you? What matters to me may not matter to you. Personal growth matters to me. In the next 25 years, I want to have more qualifications. I want to be more personally developed in my academics, in my profession, in my career. I want to, go on more courses, more training, and gain more knowledge. In the next 25 years, I want to see myself as being the master of what I am in. I want to be a force, an authority in what I am doing. That's my vision. That's personal development. It may not matter to you. That may not be your priority. There's no problem with that. There are other things that matter to you. You write them down. So here I've written the roles you have, or your roles in life. You might be a son or a daughter, a brother or a sister, a spouse, an employee. You might be a manager, a leader, an entrepreneur, or a student. What do you want these roles to look like in the next 25 years? That's what you've got to put down in these boxes here. Yeah, you can see these areas, you can see the boxes here, and the lines. You write them down, what you want them to look like. Look here, energy level. In terms of your physical energy, what would you want it to look like in 25 years? Mental energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy. You see, there are certain emotional energies that you would want to do away with. For example, in the next 25 years, you might want to see yourself as somebody who doesn't worry too much about things. Maybe your short-term goal, or currently you worry a lot about things, and you're saying, I can't continue like this. In the next 25 years, I want to be a person that is very carefree and somebody who doesn't really worry about a lot in life, except the things that I can control, and I'll look for a way to control them. That might be a vision. That might be the kind of person you want to be. It starts from now. But if you write it down and say, that's who I want to be in the next 25 years, so that's when people describe me emotionally, that's what I want them to describe me emotionally, like spiritual, spiritual energy. If you're a spiritual person, how do you think you want to see yourself spiritually in the next 25 years? You start doing the thinking now, and then you write it down in the box here. So if you send me your email address, if you want to send it in the comment section, if you want to send it to my messenger, send it to me via messenger, and I'm going to email you the template. That template is going to look like this. Yeah, this template is going to help you write those things down, and then that's going to be for your personal consumption and help you towards the goal setting process. Okay, so that's the exercise we need to do for step 3. Now let's go to step 4. Step number 4 in our goal setting process. This is what we call the vision game plan. Now we're going to spend quite a little bit of time on step 4 because there are a few things that I want us to capture in that. And again, it's going to be practical session. So in this vision game plan, yeah, I want to, let you know a few things about vision and action and things, the facts surrounding them. A vision without an action is a mere dream. Yeah? When you have a vision and there is no action attached to it, you are merely dreaming. It's a mere dream. And then, in the same way, an action without vision is just passing time. There are people who are very busy. They always appear busy. There is always an action around them, but that action has no vision to direct it. So all they do is they pass time. And they want to appear busy to you. They want you to see them as being busy. so that they can run down the time, and then they have that false sense of satisfaction, false sense of achievement, false sense of security in themselves that they have achieved something. But deep down inside themselves, they know they have not achieved anything. They've just been busy because there is no vision to guide the action. So when your vision lacks action, it's a mere dream. And then when your action lacks vision, you are just passing time because there is nothing guiding your action. But imagine what happens when you merge action with vision. A lot can happen. You can practically change the world. The way we communicate these days have changed a lot. There are lots of ways of getting in touch with people. We have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have WhatsApp, you have text messages, you have phone calls, you have, LinkedIn. There are many ways to get in touch with people. These are life-changing systems, technological improvements that people sat down, they thought about it, and they started acting on it. Today, I can sit here and talk to you, and you are in any part of the world you are, and you can hear me, you can see me. What we are doing today is as a result of somebody taking action on a vision that he had and thinking, what if I create this scenario? What if I create a forum, a platform where people can come together and connect with each other? And he took an action and started doing it, and Facebook was born. And then other social media outlets started springing forth from there. So you can see that vision came first, but it was backed up by an action, and that's how we change the world. World changers are not people who just dream and they do nothing and they fold their hands. There might be a vision you've had for some time. That vision is dormant simply because you have not taken any action. So what we are going to do now in step 4 is what we call the vision game plan. So in this step, we're going to engage goal by goal, and then we're going to create a short-term action plan, which is what we call a 90-day action goal. That's what we're going to do in this vision game plan. But first of all, we're going to examine the limiting beliefs that will stop us from achieving the goal that we want to achieve. And then we'll take a look at the stumbling blocks that we are going to encounter en route achieving those goals, and how we're going to turn those stumbling blocks into a stepping stone. But first of all, we need to answer some important questions. Now, I want you to get your pen and your paper again. Here, this is step 4, and this is the exercise that we're going to do in step 4. Step 4, exercise. I want you to answer this question. Number 1 question is what? What do you want to achieve specifically? Okay, now remember we are done with the vision, with a macro goal, with the macro aspect of your goal. Now we want to come and narrow it down to the micro side of it. Remember those visions you have about what you want your family to look like in 30 years time, 25 years time, what you want your career to look like in 25 years time, what you want to achieve in your personal finance 25 years time, all those big dreams and visions. Now I want you to be specific about it. For example, personal finance. You must have written that in 25 years time I want to be more successful financially than I am currently. Yeah, that's your long-term vision. Now I want you to be specific about it. Question 1 is what? What do you want specifically? And what I want you to do is to say how much. What does financial success mean to me? What is success? When you say I want to be financially successful, how much is financial success as far as you're concerned? Is it, I'm going to be talking in pound sterling because that's the environment where I am. Is it earning £2,000? Is it earning £5,000 a month? Is it earning £10,000 a month? Is that your definition of financial success specifically? So what do you want specifically? In those areas that you have mentioned, you have to be specific. So if you've written down health, personal finance, personal development, family, fitness, if you've mentioned vacation, fun. Yeah, I want to be going on holidays, more holidays. Where? What does good holiday look like to you? Last week I made it clear here that there are places I would like to visit. Places like the US. I haven't been there before. And the reason I haven't been there is not because I do not I do not have the capacity to go. I have the capacity to go, but I want to go there with my family. And it's something that I have set as a vision, and we want to achieve it. So in terms of fun and vacation, it's my big time fun, but I now want to be specific. Okay, I want to go on holiday, but specifically I want to go to the US, and specifically I want to visit Disneyland, Florida with my family, because that I have a vision in my head of what that sort of vacation would be like. So I'm going to be specific in terms of fun and vacation and say Disneyland, Florida. I'll write that down as vacation. I'm also going to be specific with personal finance to say this is how much I want to be earning every month for me to say I am financially successful. That is what minimum earning I want every month for me to say I am going to be successful or I am successful. So I need you to write that down against every area of life you have identified as important. Be specific about what you want in that area. Okay? What do I want specifically? Okay? Please make sure you're taking part in these practical exercises. That is where you begin. All this begins to make sense to you. If you don't write them down and if you can't see them, they remain an illusion. You forget about them immediately after this session and you do nothing about them and you do nothing with that. All the information and knowledge you've gained, they have been useless to you. But when you engage in what we are doing, you begin to see why you need to do this. Okay? So the first question is what? The second question is why. Why do you want that? If I say I want to be earning, say, £10,000 a month, that is what success looks like to me. Why do I want to be earning that much? Is it because I want to live in a comfortable house with my family where we have a very big or a very large living room and then we can do what we want as a family and have more space? Is it because I want my family to be comfortable and I want my children to go to a private school and I can pay for that? That could be your why. Your why has to be strong enough. That's your motivation. That is really why you are doing what you are doing. If you say you want to be healthy and you want to be energetic, why do you want to be healthy and energetic? What do you want to do with that health and that energy? It could be because in the next 25 years, you're going to be a granddad. And you don't want to be a granddad that is not active. You don't want to be a granddad that is boring. That whenever your grandchildren come visiting, or your grandmom, your grandchildren come visiting, you're always on the sick bed. You want to quit smoking. Why do you want to quit smoking? It might be because you have heard the dangers associated with smoking. And in 25 years' time, you do not want to be on a sick bed when your grandchildren come visiting you, because you're always in and out of the hospital because of your poor health choices 25 years ago. Why do you want to do what you want to do? Your why is the next question you want to. So in those areas you have listed: your health, your finance, your fun and your vacation, your family, your finances, your personal development, your spirit. Why do you want to do that specific thing? Why do you want to earn this amount of money? Why do you want to quit smoking? Why do you want to go on this holiday? Why do you want to visit this country, specifically on holiday? Why? What is your reason? Your reason has to be strong enough, because that is where you derive your motivation from. Listen, if your reason is not strong enough, you might possibly cancel one goal or another. There is nothing wrong in that. It simply means that you are canceling one goal so that you can focus on the other ones that you have a stronger reason to, crack on with them. But there has to be a very strong reason for you to do what you are doing. Now, the next question I need you to answer is who out there has the resources to help you achieve that specific goal that you want to achieve? Who out there has the resources to help you achieve that specific goal that you want to achieve? You might be the type of person that you have health goals and fitness goals, but you find it difficult to do it on your own. So it might be that you are better off in a group or with someone. It then means that you are going to go out there and look for a group fitness gym or a group fitness program where lots of other people come together and you draw strength from the group and it helps you achieve what you want to achieve. Is there anybody out there who can help you do that? If that is what you want to achieve and you feel that will help you more to do that, or in your personal development, what area of personal development would you want to develop yourself more on? Personally, I started listening to more podcasts in the areas that interest me. I started listening to podcasts on mortgages because I'm a mortgage broker. I started listening to podcasts on personal finance because I have seen that as a mortgage broker, I engage people more beyond their mortgages. I talk about their personal finances. I talk about their life insurance. I talk about their wills. I talk about their powers of attorney. I talk about their capital gains tax and all the things that borders around their personal finance. I realize that beyond being a mortgage broker, people are relying on me as a financial expert to talk them through and to hold their hands through certain things. That is, I'm not an independent financial advisor, but I am a financial advisor. But I advise mostly on mortgages. But then when I start talking about people's mortgages, I talk about other things. So I started listening to podcasts around personal finance. As I'm talking to you, there are certain tips I have given to you over this session and the previous sessions that borders on your personal finance. Because I now know that there is an audience of people who rely on the knowledge and information that I share. I want to broaden my knowledge base. So I started listening more to podcasts around personal finance. I started listening more to podcasts around properties. Because I'm an estate agent, I need to broaden my knowledge base around properties and property investments so that I can advise landlords better. I can talk to property investors better because I have the knowledge. So who is out there who can help you achieve that specific goal that you want to achieve? That's the next question. Then the fourth question you've got to ask then is how? What is the action plan? So this is where you now ask yourself, how am I going to achieve this? What is the action plan? As I mentioned earlier, it might be that you want to lose weight. You realize that you are putting on so much weight, you're becoming too weak and too tired these days. The energy level in you is not really up to it, but you want to do something about it. And you have set that as a goal that you want to do something about it. You have asked yourself, what do I want? Yes, I want to lose weight and I want to be more energetic. Okay, how? Why do you want to do that? Because I want to be stronger, I want to be more energetic, I want to have the strength to go through the day's activities without coming back and feeling so knackered. Who is out there who will help me? There's someone who is running a fitness program that I can reach out to. In Luton, where I live, there is a park run that happens every Saturday. People come to the park and they run 5 kilometers around the park. Some people might derive energy from that. They want to do that. So you might want to research, park run around me. Where does it happen? When does it happen? How do I achieve that? By getting up and do it. If you type in park run, you see park run around you. If you type in group fitness program, you see group fitness programs around you. That's how you get to where you want to get to. If you want to improve yourself, personal development, how do you want to improve yourself? You might want to start going out to buy books and start reading books. If you want to listen, if you are the type that listens more, download Audible. Audible is an app that enables you to listen to books rather than reading them. If you can't read, download the app Audible and start reading books that interest you. I read books. Personal finance books, they interest me. I've been reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad a lot lately. That's the latest edition, 20 years later. That book was written 20 years ago, and then the latest edition of 20 years later now relates the same principles of 20 years ago to the world we live in 20 years later, and it remains relevant, and it has richly enriched me a lot. If you like listening to podcasts, look out for there are podcasts on health and fitness, there are podcasts on religion, there are podcasts on finance. Any area of life that interests you, there are podcasts you can download and you start listening to them. If you're in your car and there is traffic, turn on your podcast. Start listening to the podcast in the car. That enriches you and you pass time with that. If you are commuting on the train or in a bus, get your earpiece on. Start listening to the podcast. You're enriching yourself. That is how you get things doing. There is no other way to do it than to start doing it. Because starting it is the most difficult part of it. So that's the next question. How do I get to achieve what I want to achieve? This specific goal that I want to achieve. Now, I have told myself, this is how I want to achieve what I want to achieve. This is how much I want to earn. How do I go about earning that? I need to be making more phone calls. I need to be talking to more clients. I need to be booking more appointments to go and see clients. How do I get to do that? How do I even find the clients? Where do I start looking for them? I will start to draw out my marketing plans, or my contacts, or introducers, or people that I can reach out to. Facebook, social media, how do I do that? I want to connect with people who need my services. How do I reach them? I decide to use the social media. My YouTube channels are there. I'm going to be talking about mortgages, and I have mapped out a plan on how I intend to be connecting with my mortgage audience through my YouTube channel. I'm connecting with the audience as I'm talking to you here now. I'm talking to you and I'm connecting with you as an audience. That is how I reach out to people that I want to reach out, and people that are going to help me get to where I want to get to on this journey, and we help out each other. You've got to decide, map out an action plan of how you want to get to where you want to get to. Okay? So now the practical steps that we want to do on this vision game plan is this. Number one, I want you to write down one vision. You know, from that vision that we wrote in different areas of your life, we're going to take it one out of that vision. Just copy one of the visions you wrote in the manifesto. You know what I want to manifest to. Just copy out one vision. I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to copy out one vision from there, and that's going to be around, yeah. I've copied out that one vision. Okay. Now, number 2 in this step is for you to discover your why. Yeah? Why have you picked out that specific vision? I'm going to write my why here. I did mention here last week that since we came back from Nigeria, since the day my daughter told me that Daddy, everywhere looks so small, she was indirectly telling me that she needs more space, because she's gone to Nigeria and she's seen how much space there is available in Nigeria. She came back home. The very day we came back from Nigeria, we entered the house, she opened the house, she said, Daddy, everywhere looks so small. So I get the message, she needs more space. She's going to turn 10 in September, and she needs more space. She needs privacy. She needs more space. So that is a strong why for me, to make sure that by September, before she turns 10, I want to give her more space. I want her to feel like, yeah, everywhere doesn't look so small anymore. Everywhere looks bigger. So I am now a dad under pressure. Please come to my help, because I am under pressure to provide more space to that little angel who is going to turn 10 in September, because she's made it clear to me. And then she's also told me specifically what she wants for her birthday when she turns 10. So that is even more pressure on me. That is my strong why, to make sure that my role as a father, I do not fail in that role. So whatever I'm drawing around my personal finance has to get towards making sure I do not fail in my role as a father, and that I give my daughter and my children what satisfies them, what they need, what makes them happy, but not what spoils them beyond what they should be. I want to spoil them positively. If making them happy amounts to spoiling them, it's a positive way of spoiling them, because when they are happy, I am happy. So if I want to make them happy and I want to have a happy family, you can see how these things link up. I want to have a happy family. I want to have a good relationship. I want to make my children happy. And then it links into I want to make more money. Because a lot of the times, you might say that money doesn't buy you happiness. But I haven't seen too many happy poor people who are happy being poor. Okay? So you've got to really be very realistic and stop lying to yourself. There are certain things that you know that if you lack them, you will not be as happy as you would be. Yes, I want to make more money because I know there are certain things that money can get me that will make me happy. It is not the money that makes me happy. It is the satisfaction that I derive from the reward of my efforts. So that I put in this effort and it yielded me results, and that result has led to a more comfortable lifestyle for me. I cannot feel guilty in that mindset. So we crack on. Number 3, when you discover your why, which is the motivation and why you want to do that, and you've written that down. Number 3, let us turn the stumbling blocks into a stepping stone. How do we do that? You ask yourself the question, this thing that I want to achieve, what stops me from achieving it now? What stops that thing from happening now? In essence, you're asking yourself, what are the stumbling blocks? Okay, so turn stumbling blocks into stepping stone. Yeah, that's step number 3. And by asking the question, why can this not happen now? Why can this not happen now? That is the question we need to answer now. Why can this not happen now? So what I need you to do now is start listing the challenges and the difficulties and the problems that will stop that thing from happening now. Okay? So if you have said to yourself, I want to lose weight, I want to change my physical outlook, I want to shed some weight. Yeah, that's in the next 25 years, I want to appear trimmer, more energetic, more healthy, and all that. Why can it not happen now? It might be that you are not the early riser. Oh, again, I would like, this morning when I was making the video after my my early morning workout, one of the comments on there was from my friend in Nigeria. She said to me, "Come and drag me to run with you, please." And she was laughing. So it was obvious that she may not be early riser type who engages that early in physical fitness, but she was early enough to watch the video that I was posting. But she wasn't really the type that goes out early to go and run. Okay? So if that is a stumbling block to you, is that all that there is? Or is there something else that is stopping you from waking up early to do that early morning run? If it is because you go to work early and you need to wake up early to get ready for work so that you can arrive at your place of work early, have you worked out how much time it takes you to get from your house to work? Okay, if it takes you 2 hours to get from your house to work and you start work at 9 o'clock in the morning, for example, so it means you must have to leave your house at 7 o'clock in the morning to get to work at 9 o'clock. All right. What if you wake up 2 hours earlier than 7, say 5 o'clock in the morning? Some people might be screaming now, what? Waking up 5 o'clock in the morning? Are you nuts? Are you mad? Well, It is possible if you want it that badly. I'm going to give you an example. My wife leaves the house every day for work at 6:45 a.m. She wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and she goes, dresses up, and she goes to do her early morning jogging. She does her early morning run. She comes back to the house. She wakes the children up early that morning, say around 6 o'clock or 6:30 when she's back. 6 o'clock, sorry, when she's back. Gets them ready for school that early before she leaves the house at 6:45. And she gets to work, and she starts work as early as she needs to start work. I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. My schedule is different. I do my reading from then till 6:30 in the morning. I read, I empower myself, emotionally and psychologically, personal development up till 6:30 in the morning. And then I go out and do my early morning jogging. I do my early morning run between 30 to 40 minutes. I come back to the house. The children are ready for school, so I've got to give them breakfast. I give them breakfast because by the time I come back to the house, my wife's already gone out for work. So I give them breakfast, I take them to school, and I do the school runs in the morning, and I come to work, and I start working. So we have, shared responsibilities. We share those responsibilities, and everybody sticks to their responsibility and do what they do, and it functions well and perfectly well for us like that. So who says it's not possible for you to wake up early enough, do your early morning running and jogging, gain energy, and get ready for work, and then go to work? My situation is different from yours. I am not saying you should do exactly what I'm doing, but if it doesn't work for you, then find out what works for you. If early morning working is a problem for you, what about coming back in the evening and then doing that jogging in the evening, going to the gym in the evening, and then exercising yourself before you go to bed so that you can have a good night's sleep with your body well exercised, sleep very well, wake up stronger in the morning, and then you go. There are several ways. It's just for you to list down those stumbling blocks. It might be that what you want to achieve financially is just you consider yourself to be an introvert. Or I'm the shy type. I would really like to impart on people. I would really like to go out and talk to people, but I'm the shy type. I don't talk. I'm not the type that can come out and speak openly. That is a stumbling block. That is a difficulty. But do you know that there are ways you can engage with people without actually seeing them face to face? If you're not very good at doing videos and you want to engage with people, you can write blogs. If you cannot talk openly to people and you cannot engage on videos and podcasts, you can write blogs. You can engage with people through blogging and put out your blogs based on different areas and fields. That way you are not really you are not seeing anybody's face, but you are communicating. And by blogging alone, you can create an environment where you can thrive, because that is where you are comfortable. So the idea here is list those difficulties and the problems. Don't hide them. Yeah, if it is lack of money, write it. If it is lack of connections, write it. Yeah, anything you consider to be difficulty, write it down. Now, don't just stop there. Next to each difficulty or problem you've written, write down how you can overcome them. Every problem you have written down there has a solution. So when you write it down, write down how you can overcome them. Now, this thing I'm telling you, there is a template that I can also email you that can help you do that. Yeah, this is the vision game plan template. Okay? Here, you've got the vision, which you've written down. Why? Why do I want this? And here you've got the obstacles, which is the problem. The obstacles on one side, and then the strategies to overcome those obstacles on the other side. Now, when you've done that, number 4 step is to transform your limiting beliefs into supporting beliefs. There are certain beliefs you have that are limiting what you want to achieve. Now, write down those limiting beliefs and then let's see how you can convert them into supporting beliefs. I once told my story of how somebody said to me that being a mortgage broker in this country as a black person, you are wasting your time. Hey, you're a bloody African immigrant. And mortgage and house purchase is one of the biggest financial decisions that white and Caucasian people can make. What makes you think that a white man will come to you and ask you to do his mortgage? What makes you think that they can entrust that kind of huge responsibility on you to find them a mortgage to buy a house? You're a bloody immigrant. Don't waste your time going to do that course or that program. You will never make it as a mortgage broker because they will never entrust that responsibility to you. Do you know what I did? I actually used that as a stepping stone, as a challenge. That belief he had within him that as a black person he cannot advise somebody of the opposite color because he believed that his skin complexion is a limitation to him. I went ahead and I did that course as a mortgage broker. And today I am advising blacks, I'm advising Asians, I'm advising whites, I'm advising Caucasians, people from different ethnic groups. They come to me for mortgage advice and they are happy with the services I'm rendering to them. What are your limiting beliefs? Can you turn them into the supporting beliefs? Write down what you think are the beliefs that are limiting you. It might be your family background. You might think that, well, nobody from my family have done this. We are not really born to do this. Oh, there is this sickness in my family lineage. We have a fat fat genes. Everybody in my family is fat, so I don't think there is anything I can do that's to lose this fat. Trust me, the same belief would have limited my wife if she wanted to adopt, because growing up I had someone say that to her, to say, hey, Amara, watch it. It looks like in your family you guys have fat genes in your family. Please watch it. Today, I think she fits into a size 6 dress and skirt today. And I keep telling her, look, my friend, make sure you don't disappear one day from this house, and I'll start looking for you. After the 3rd child, she was wearing size 14. From size 14, she fits into a size 6 dress and skirts today. But somebody told her at some point, growing up, that look, you guys have fatness in your gene. Some of these beliefs are just in your head. If you start working out today, that fat gene you think you will never burn, you will burn them naturally. It will disappear. So find a way of turning that limiting belief into a supporting belief. I'm not good at public. Oh, I'm not good at public speaking. I can't speak. I can't talk to people. Who told you can't talk to people? Those people are not zombies. They don't have snake heads. You can talk to them. If you want to remove those limiting beliefs and say, yeah, let me try it out. Try it out. It works. So transforming that limiting belief to a supporting belief is step number 4. Then step number 5 we're going to do is brainstorming tactics. Now you've got to brainstorm on the strategies that you have worked out. But in this brainstorming, I need you to answer some questions when you want to brainstorm, because it's easier, really, and sometimes a lot faster to seek for help than wanting to do it alone. So what I need you to answer now in that session is, are there habits that can support me in achieving this goal? Are there habits that can support me in achieving this goal? For example, your personal finance goals. What about savings habits? What about the habit of savings? What about making savings a habit? That every month when I'm paid, I'm going to set aside 10% of my earnings. Before I spend that money, before I spend 1 penny out of it, I'm going to take 10% of it, I'm going to put it in a savings account. If you're not the type that receives salary and you run your own business, what about anytime you make a hit? Your income is not regular, but there are times you've done a solid deal and there's a good money coming into your account? What about forming a habit of whenever I make some good money, I'm going to set aside 20% of what I make from that deal, and I put it in a savings account that will yield me interest? A habit. Because you have a vision of where you will never ever have to borrow money from somebody. You have a vision where you will never ever have to rely on anybody financially. But then you now narrow it down to specific goals of, I want to make enough money to be comfortable. And you have identified how much you want to make. What about a habit that will help you to get there? Where in any time there is an emergency, you have some funds to dip your hands into and solve that problem, because you have built up for yourself emergency funds. What about that habit? What about a habit of exercising every single day? What about a habit of linking up with people of like mind for personal development, making sure that you put into your brain, into your mind, something positive every day by listening to podcasts, Audible, reading books, and reading blogs, or however you want to feed your mind? How about that for emotional training? Because sometimes the things that makes you worry a lot are the things that make no sense. But the moment you begin consuming things that make sense, you begin to reason things differently. Recently, I think it was last year, I made the decision to stop engaging in political discussions, especially as it concerns Nigerian politics. Because I realized there was a lot of negative energy that was coming out of me when I was doing that. It was costing me friends. It was costing me relationships. It was costing me energy, time. And I realized that a lot of the time the people I engage with in these discussions are people whose stance cannot shift from where they are. And they refuse to see sense in what you're saying. And you feel frustrated. And it can even spoil your day, So I realized that I was not benefiting anything from it. And the guys who are benefiting from Nigerian politics are busy there enjoying themselves. These guys will fight in the open and they will make up in the secret. And then we come out on social media and we kill ourselves. Not just on social media. People even physically kill themselves over politicians. People who don't care about you. And I realize how stupid I have been all this while, trying to change people's concepts, mentality, making them see things differently. It was getting me nowhere. And I said, you know what? That's the end of it. When I formed that habit of avoiding anything political and getting involved in anything political, I realized that my focus was laser sharp. It became laser sharp. My energy level doubled. And I became clearer, crystal clear on where I was going and where I was heading to. Because I formed a new habit of focusing my mind and my energy on things that are really beneficial to me and things that matter to me. How about that as a habit? Okay? Now, the other question I need to ask in this step 5 is, do I need to acquire any skills that will help me in achieving what you want to achieve? Do you need to acquire any skills? I'm going to give you another example. I realized that there is a free digital marketing course program that Google runs. And I have been wanting to really get into digital marketing and find out how digital marketing works and what I can benefit from it. So I went and I typed in digital marketing courses. And it brought up this free program, free courses that Google runs for digital marketing. And I started taking those courses on digital marketing. And I've been benefiting immensely from the knowledge I've been getting from that course on digital. I'm beginning to understand more how digital marketing works. And this is free of charge. And this is a skill I felt would help me to get to where I want to get to. And I went and I took a decision to research on that. And I stumbled upon something free. I didn't even have to pay for it. Google it. You know, digital marketing courses by Google. It comes up. I can't remember what the name is, but I run that program and I get involved in that course, and I've done a couple of those courses, and I keep doing it. At my leisure, it's a video. Some of them are just like 3, 4, 5 minutes videos, and you watch them, you know, one video at a time, not long videos. And it really helped me to get a good grasp of digital marketing. Okay? So, is there a skill out there that I can acquire that will help me? The third question you need to ask yourself in this brainstorming tactics is, who has achieved this thing that I want to achieve that can help me? There might be a personal trainer out there who can tell you a solid story of how he or she went from being, you know, size 18 to being size 10. Inspiring story. In fact, my wife's coach, her health coach, has such a fantastic story that she tells her clients, and she shows them the before photo and, you know, what she looks like now. So when you come into her center where she organizes her personal training, the before photo is there on the wall, and people who look at her, what she looked like then, cannot believe that this is the same person. But because she made a conscious decision and effort to say, I'm going to give up all this fat and I'm going to do it for myself and for my children, she not only lost that much weight, but she now inspires others and she trains others. So who out there has achieved what I want to achieve that I can get involved with to help me? It might be business. Look for a business mentor. There are lots of business mentors on there who can mentor you in business and teach you what you need to know. I had an encounter with a young man who came to meet me when I was in Nigeria in December. And he came to me and he said, I need financial help to boost my business. I've got this, you know, new business I set up, and I need financial assistance to boost the business and to get it, you know, going. And I said to her, you may be talking to the wrong person, basically, because I need to ask you a few questions before we even get to the point of you needing a financial assistance. And I said, there are a few basic fundamentals you need to make sure you have in place before you go out and start talking about financial. And if I ask you now to show me your business plan, do you have any? He said, no. I said, do you have financial projections for this business, like how much this business is likely to generate in the next 12, 18, 24, 36 months? Do you have any? He said, no. I said, what experience have you got in running businesses that would make me invest in your business? He said, well, I just started like 6 months ago. I said, fantastic, you're a very brave person. Right. And he said, I've got a small seed capital from an investor who has asked me to, you know, be repaying that seed capital over a period of time gradually, because he's a philanthropist and he wants to use it to be helping others. And I said, that small seed capital that you have, by how much have you grown it in the last 6 to 8 months that you got it? He doesn't know by how much, but he says, oh, the business has prospered. I said, these are the basic fundamentals that you need to establish first of all. Because if I want to put money in your business, I would want to put money in your business as an investor. That makes me a stakeholder in your business. And before I become a stakeholder in your business, I want to make sure that my capital is safe. So I want to see your books. I want to know how much experience you've got. I want to know what your marketing plans are. This particular business you have opened, I have seen similar businesses all over the place since I came to Nigeria. Why would somebody want to come to yours and not the other person's? What are you doing specially that will attract customers into that shop and not the other people's shop? What are your marketing plans? None. So you see, who has achieved what I want to achieve that I can go to, and he can help me do that? So sometimes the help you think you need is not actually the help you need, until somebody who knows how to get there holds your hand and takes you there. You might go to somebody and after, I think we spent like 30 or 45 minutes talking, After that session of me just talking to him about the fundamentals that he needs to get his business going, I asked him, do you still want the money, or are you happy with what you've got already? He said, I'm happy with what I've got already. I think this is even more than the money I've come to ask for. I said, what I have, I've given to you. If you want more of it, join my class every Monday on our Modesty's Monday Motivation Series, and you get more out of that. What money cannot buy you is what I'm happy to give to you. I'm not a philanthropist. I haven't got a bundle of capital to issue to you. But if you want me to mentor you and show you ways that you can grow this business, I'm happy to do that for you free of charge. But if you are to pay for it, you're going to pay a lot more money. And if I give you this money, it's not going to be useful to you because the basic fundamentals are missing in your business. And until you fix those basic fundamentals, any money you put into that business will disappear. And being spiritual would always attribute that to witches and wizards. Okay? So how can I achieve this goal? That's the next question. Number 4 question in this brainstorming tactics. You now begin to write down all your options on how you can achieve that goal. So step number 6 here is to choose your action goal for the next 90 days. Step number 6. Choose your action goal for the next 90 days. Okay, so you can see we have now taken that from the macro vision and we are now narrowing down to 90-day goal. Alright? So choose your action goal for the next 90 days. Now, what are action goals? Action goals are really specific, actionable steps that you are going to take towards achieving that thing that you want to achieve. And then you must have a deadline of 90 days. So we're going to break this down to 90-day goal. Are you writing? Or are you just watching me? So choose your actionable goal for the next. What are you going to be doing for the next 90 days towards the attainment of this specific goal that you have written down? The other thing you need to know is that once you commit to this, there is no going back. You cannot change it for the next 90 days. Okay? So, if you have chosen to be exercising every morning for the next 90 days, no going back. No ifs, no buts, no excuses. Right? If you have chosen to do more Facebook marketing in your business for the next 90 days, that I'm going to create a digital online presence for my business and I'm going to engage with my clients on a daily basis in my business for the next 90 days, no ifs, no buts, no excuses. Commit yourself to it, and that's going to be what you're going to be doing for the next 90 days. Are you writing down your 90-day goals? Because I'm going to write down mine now. I'm sure a lot of you would have been seeing my posts every day on ideas, on financial education and motivation that I send out every single day in my stories on my posts and all that. That was part of my commitment, that every single day I'm going to be dishing out contents from my social media handles, that everywhere you look, you will see me saying something that borders on your everyday financial and personal life. I post it on LinkedIn, I post it on Twitter, I post it on Instagram, I post it on Facebook. Every social media channel that I have, I make sure that my presence is felt there because I want to connect with more of my audience and my clients. And I've been getting positive feedbacks and positive reaction from there because it's part of my digital online presence 90-day strategy. And I've done that for more than 90 days. I've been doing that since late last year. So it's become a habit, a routine for me that, and I normally do that early in the morning when I'm reading, when ideas are coming, when I've got things to share. So throughout the day, my social media handles are flooded with financial education, with financial information, with personal goal information, with things that will motivate and inspire people every day. So it becomes a daily routine for me, Monday to Friday. I do take a break from that on weekends, except on exceptional basis where I really have to do that. So once you commit to this particular action step, there is no going back. Okay? And then the next thing we've got to do now, the last step, step number 7, is to write down one next action that you can complete within the next week. Okay? So from 90 days now, we want to narrow it down to a weekly action. Write down one action that you can complete within the next week. I'm writing mine down now. So this is something I've been wanting to do, but I've been waiting for the right time to do it, and some other things have been getting, have been getting in my way. But I want to commit myself to it now, this week, and I want to commit myself to it openly so that I will have all of you hold me to account. If it doesn't happen, you can always come back to me and say, Ikenna, you said you're going to do this, and you have not done it within the next week. So within the next week, I'm going to finally launch my YouTube mortgage education channel, which is going to be happening every single week. Okay? I'm going to launch my YouTube mortgage education channel, which is going to happen every single week. So between now and next week, I am committing to releasing and launching my YouTube mortgage. I've posted some stuff about that, about mortgage, the seminar I did somewhere. I put that on my YouTube channel already. It's really generating some very good interest on there. But then it hasn't been consistent enough. Like the Monday's education, Modesty's Monday Motivation channel that we do every week here on Facebook. This has been consistent because this is episode 17. So for 17 weeks and episodes we've done this, but I haven't been consistent on the YouTube channel where I want to be talking to people about mortgages. Yeah, and I just noticed that there isn't that much resources on mortgages where people go and gain knowledge on mortgages and property finance and protection, like insurance. So it's going to be mortgages and protection. It's going to be a channel, a platform where I'll be talking more about mortgages and insurance, like life insurance, mortgages and protection. So that is a big commitment on my side, because it means I will really have to channel resources and time to get that and to do that every week. And I am proposing every Wednesday. Yeah. So starting from next week, Wednesday, I want to do my YouTube channel for mortgages and protection. What I need from you and the help I need from you in doing this is to help me. I'm going to write, after this session, I'm going to write a few name suggestions on what we're going to call that YouTube channel for mortgages. And I'm going to ask for your help to help me choose which one you think best and most fits what we are trying to achieve on that. And I'm going to stick to whatever you say I should call it. I'm going to call it that. Because when it goes wrong, I'm going to hold all of you responsible. I'm going to say, I didn't choose the name. They chose it for me. And they are going to fix it. Okay? So that's my commitment that within the next week, I'm going to do that. And that is going to key into my other goals that I've already set And I hope what you are committing yourself to doing in the next week is going to key into the other goal that you have set, the specific goal that you have set for this year. So we have now, you can see how we grew, how we came down from the macro vision to the micro goals and down to the weekly action steps. That is how you get things started. So let us start with this weekly commitment first and make it something that you have to do within the next week, and then the week after, and then the week after. Remember, it's a 90-day goal thing, but we've broken it down to weekly, and every week we're going to be doing that. After 90 days, we're going to reevaluate our progress and see how far we have come and how closer we are to achieving what we want to achieve. So friends and folks, that's it for this week. And thank you all for listening, and thank you all for watching, and thank you all for being part of this. Remember, if you need me to send you the templates for this week's practical step, the action game plan, and the What I Want manifesto, please send me your email address. If you want to type it in the comment section, or if you want to send it to me via messenger, send me your email address. I'm going to email you that template. And then if you weren't part of this from the beginning, I encourage you to go back and watch this video from the beginning and see the steps and the action steps that we have asked everyone to take, and take those action steps, write them down, make them your Bible, make them your companion. This is really going to help you get clarity about where you're heading to this year and beyond. So next week we're going to start from step number 5. Yeah, so we've done 1 and 2 last week. We've done step 3 and 4 today. Remember, it's 7 steps, so we've done 3 and 4 today. Next week again we're going to continue from step number 5, and if possible we could do 5, 6, 7 next week, or depending on how voluminous it is and the time constraint, we can do just 5 and 6 and finish it up the week later. So thank you very much for watching. I am your friend, your man again, Ikenna Umezudike. I'm the director of Modesty Financial and Property Consultants based in the UK. We specialize in mortgages, property finance and protection, and investors who want to get involved in property investments. We have Modesty Property Consultants Limited to take care of that and to look after that. Looking after your properties, selling, letting, and the mortgages that are associated with them. If you need me, get in touch with me and we'll find a way to help you. We're here to help, and that's what we're born to do. Take care and goodbye.